Wizards of the Coast has cracked the code on players. They can hit the nostalgia factor and we're going to buy into it. These secret layers are absolutely insane. Wizards of the Coast is pulling out all the stops. They're locking things down and they're doing a good job of it. And that's hard for me to say, but it's so true in this case. Welcome back everyone, MTG Moxman here, and thank you again for hanging out with me on my channel today. A reminder before we start today's video that this is just crazy stuff, okay? It's just amazing, and we got to go over it. Now we're going to talk about secret layers. The brief recap of my life as secret layers is I don't like them as a product. I still think they should go to LGSs as a way to just augment weak sales on certain products, but Wizards of the Coast realizes that this is a cash cow. And the reason you can tell that they know that we know that they know is they keep locking down the proper IPs to really boost the sales market on these products for people who can afford to really dive in. Those players in their 40s and 50s who grew up watching things like what I'm going to show you today, and of course the horror movie themes, it's nutty. So let's get into this. So first off, we have two secret layers to talk about. One briefly because it's at the end, and one with a little more in depth. They're giving us Chucky from Child's Play, like 1988. Like I remember watching the movie and just being horrified at the idea that a doll could come alive and come and get you. I'm your friend to the end. It was nutty. And then we snuck into the theater as a kid to watch Child's Play 2. And they've gone on a lot further since then, but that's not the point. The point is, they got the IP locked down. We have Halloween coming up. They've given us Duskmorn. This creepy vibe theme fits in with what they're trying to do. And it's going to go a long way in sales. It's going to be something that players latch onto because of the nostalgia factor. We've seen it already with a whole bunch of other secret layers, haven't we? The last few with the tighter allocation runs have really got players going. D&D sold amazingly. Okay, and we know they upped the numbers for that. And I don't think they're going to do it for Child's Play. They'll still think it's kind of a niche market. But we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see how quick things sell it. But let me show you the cards. Let's dive into this. Let's take a look at Cardour, the Doom Scourge, is Chucky, the legendary demon berserker. Guys, this is amazing, and this is going to grab a lot of people. Allow me to really dive in and explain this. Chucky was 1988, okay? If you think about the era of growing up in that age, sneaking into a theater to see Child's Play 2, because I did that. It was rated R, I think, at the time. It was crazy. And now we have a chance to own cards. Remember Ready Player One, the movie? And they had the Chucky bomb that you could throw, and it took out all kinds of the bad guys? This is what we're talking about. Hey, let's show the cards here. So here, it's the good guys, right? He wants to be your best friend. But it also says that it's the Doom Scourge right there on that card. So you can kind of flip it back and forth depending on what image you want to display as you're playing. It's a double-sided card, I guess. Or they're giving you two versions. I don't know. But it looks amazing, okay? It reminds me of the movie itself. It gives me that creepy feel. I mean, any player who grew up in this time, how could you not want to buy a product like this? And it just shows how Wizards of the Coast has now adapted the artwork to suit the audience. They're giving us something that we actually desire. Not something they think we want. This is something we know players are going to buy. Now, of course, it's a 4/3 creature and stuff, but it reminds me of the movie poster, right? That's what it's set up to look like. And that kind of imagery and artwork is going to go a long way. Because if I'm going to buy it, and yes, I'm going to buy it, I'm going to find a way. This is something I know other people are going to buy. So we also have, sorry Jack, Chucky's back. Now, of course, it's the enchantment. It's Phyrexian Reclamation. This one doesn't grab me nearly as much, but it's with like the eyes going to the machine in the factory. It's still great, though. And I remember seeing it, right? I don't care what it takes. Put a lid on this. Mr. Sullivan, PlayPals CEO. Like anyone who grew up in this time, it is crazy to see. We have Tiffany, the bride of Chucky, right? And that's the Blood Sky Sire. Now, when I look at this card, I didn't actually watch I remember seeing it. I think it had Patricia Arquette as the voice. But I remember the movie. I did not see this one. But the fact I remember the imagery, it's kind of freaking me out a bit. It's pretty awesome, guys. Now, we add this in with things like Friends to the End, right? Guys, it's amazing. Cards like this, it just grabs me to see, yeah, like this all fits with the theme following Duskmore, the creepy kind of scary Halloween vibe, and it's going to fall in perfectly with the super drops and stuff they're putting out. Now here is Play Palace Factory, right? And this is the Genesis Chamber. Another good fit. Whenever a non-token creature enters, if Play Palace Factory is untapped, that creature's controller creates a 1/1 colorless mirror artifact token. It's great. It's great. It fits in, guys. Love it. Love the idea. Love the imagery. Remember the doll that comes all mutated and stuff? Love this stuff. It's just, it's one of those things, okay? Cheap IPs that they can lock down. The intellectual property that is Chucky, and the next one I'm going to show you, Ghostbusters, would not cost them a lot to lock these down. These are ancillary things they already own that they now get to repurpose and make a lot of money off of. Wizards of the Coast is going to pay for this. They're going to make their money, but these companies that own the IP get the recognition. They get the visual that players, that kids, that people around them are going to see when they say, hey, that's Ghostbusters. It just adds another dimension. It's great for them. Now, I'll show you the Ghostbusters one in a second, but I want to just talk about this for a second because Wizards of the Coast is really stepping up their game. There was a time there a lot of us joked here saying, why can't they give us Secret Lairs that actually makes sense? Give us some cool artwork. Give us Ghostbusters. Give us G.I. Joe. Give us Thundercats. I've talked about this on my channel for a long time and my weakness for the nostalgia. And here it is. Give me Smurfs. I'm buying it. Where's Fraggle Rock? Bring it on. You got Rocket Robin Hood from the 60s. I watched that on rerun. How about Hercules? All those kinds of things will not cost them a lot of money. Even something like Clash of the Titans. It's not going to cost them a lot. And they can repurpose it with cards that already exist. They don't have to give us brand new cards. Just like they did with Evil Dead. We would have liked that more. But this takes them less work. They just need some artists to bling out some cards and resend them out. It's amazing. This has become more than just a little cottage industry for the company. The way they're going right now, they're going to be able to keep the production runs smaller and tighter, but pump out more of them. Think about how many movie IPs are out there. How many cartoon shows, kid shows that have all gone defunct and nobody really remembers them. But those of us who grew up in that nostalgia age. They may not make a new cartoon show, but that image, that book, that artwork may come around again in some new Magic card that draws your attention. It's good for everyone, and I'm glad they're doing it. It's weird for me to say this, guys, but this is really good. But enough of this. Let's jump over to Ghostbusters. Let me show you this other secret layer based on the cartoon show that I remember. Let's take a look at this. And if the Child's Play Chucky theme wasn't enough for you, we also have Ghostbusters. If you can believe it, this is the cartoon version that I remember as a kid growing up after the first movie came out. This is the real Ghostbusters, and here you have Slimer as Careful Study. Guys, the cards and the way they put this together, here's Total Containment Failure as the living end. Guys, it's amazing. These cards are going to grip players. Answer the Call. Guys, you can't say enough about the creativity it takes and the tenacity to lock down some IPs, to use that artwork, that style, to cross over into the nostalgia realm that is going to grab players. I mean, here we even have the Ghostbusters patch, guys, as Borrow's Charm. I can't tell you just how amazing this is going to be. Hey, an unlicensed hearse? No, we got Echo 1. That's what people are going to see. And of course, we've got the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in the background. Anybody who grew up in the 90s, late 80s to 90s, is going to remember these movies, these cartoon shows, and they're going to buy the product. Guys, this is just crazy because it shows how important artwork is to players. Something to be blinged out, something to be unique and special, and that desirability to break the mold away from the regular cards and give some unique artwork style to an otherwise amazing game. Guys, it's amazing. It's crazy to see they're doing it, but it's awesome. And I did kind of call this, if you saw my video a couple of days ago, discussing Duskmorn, and I said how the cards all seem like a failed Ghostbusters thing, and they're probably going to have a cartoon version of some kind of secret layer, and here we are talking about it. Guys, it's crazy. There's a lot of secret layers that I don't like and don't appreciate. But I've got to be honest, from my point of view and my opinion, the ones they've been laying into lately are catching on. They're hitting home with a lot of players, and there's a lot of people buying them. Now, we're not buying like before to flip them over and make money later on. The players buying them right now want them for decks. They want to enjoy them and play with them. The idea of blinging out your deck is something that's nothing new. Everyone likes to be that peacock and strut your stuff when you have something unique, especially after a couple of years when nobody else remembers that it was around and you haven't seen it for a while. or new players coming in saying, where did you get that card? It's just part of the game, and it's amazing to see. The artwork for Magic is really taking off in a new direction. It's something that players need to be aware of. You need to know. Because the functionality of the card hasn't changed. Unless you really have to have that card, you shouldn't be spending extra money just because of the cool artwork, unless you can afford to do so. It's good to know that that new artwork, though, can drive down the price of a more basic version of the card. It's something to always consider. You can save a lot of money when a secret layer drops because it's a reprint of a card that already exists. Either way, I hope you guys have some great comments in the comment section. Would you buy the Chucky? Would you buy Ghostbusters? Do you remember these things? Tell me. Speak to me. Let me know. Guys, thanks again for hanging out. Have a great day today, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Hey guys, a big shout out and thank you to the fantastic patrons of this channel. Because of the patrons, I get to do this stuff every day. We get to research and talk about the amazingness that is Magic the Gathering, and I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow for another video. It's awesome. So thanks again to my patrons, my YouTube membership members. I wouldn't be here without them, so they always deserve that recognition. Thanks again, everyone. We will see you tomorrow, of course, with another video. I'm not joking. I think they've cracked the code on stuff, man. I think they know something now. Allow me to explain. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble! You've made it to the end. You get the extra long explanation about what goes on in the Moxman's brain. You may not agree with it, but it's going to happen anyway. So, I want you guys to consider this. They give us a bunch of secret layers that are mediocre. They overprint and people don't want them anymore. They go to a restricted allocation. Players are like, yeah, whatever. Then we get the Monty Python that really is like lockdown. A couple other secret layers. Harder to get. Prices go up. People start to take notice and realize maybe Wizards really is locking things down a bit more. Maybe they're driving that collectability factor, not based on the cards, but on the artwork. Unique artwork on the same cards they can keep reprinting, which keeps power levels in check. Doesn't cost them any money. Just the artist. And we love it because it's stuff we remember. You think I won't buy that Ghostbusters? You think I won't get Chucky? It's ridiculous. I don't even care if I play with them. I'm putting them in a deck just to say I put Chucky on the battlefield. They got me. And it's happening more often. And I don't know what to do. Anyway, we'll talk later. This is going to be quite the live stream this weekend.